Hello, everybody, and welcome to our continued Extra Life stream via Digital Eclipse. For those who are just attending now in anticipation of Garbage Pail Kids, we are doing a whole 3 days of streaming. We started 10 a.m. this morning, and we are going till Sunday night. We have quite a few members of the Digital Eclipse studio participating and kind of playing through and streaming a variety of different games, ranging between, we have some Super Nintendo coming up, some N64, GameCube, Dreamcast, NES.
Dreamcast down there.
Yeah, so we have a lot of variety there.
And
we were, oh, actually, it still says Jeopardy. Do I have to manually?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So hit T.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And hit Jeopardy.
And then type in, okay.
Yep.
Sorry, guys, 1 second.
Live demo, folks. And good luck typing the name of this game. I specifically used this when I was composing the layout for this stream because it is a game title so long that we couldn't name the Windows executable the full name. Like Windows would not handle an exe with that long of a name.
Okay, hit update. All right, and then.
Hit T again.
Then hit T again to get rid of it.
And now go to the top now playing.
Where? What?
The top where it says now playing. Just click that.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
That's the right one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I made it confusing. Sorry.
All right, it's okay.
But yeah, welcome to Garbage Pail Kids.
Right. And okay, so now I've entered that.
Sweet.
And then how do I get back to
the 4 white squares.
Okay.
So we're good.
Okay, great. Yes, sorry about that, guys. We are now, as I was saying, we're streaming for 3 days, a variety of platforms. You probably, if you have been listening previously, we went through an awesome couple hours of Jeopardy that Dan Emmerich sort of brought in here and got us to do, which was pretty awesome. I think that's something we definitely need to try to do in the future, because I think a lot of people had fun, not only the participants, but the viewers. And we were sitting all in the kitchen enjoying that experience too. So kudos to Dan and the rest of the guys who participated in that. But now, moving on to something new. Yes, Garbage Pail Kids, Mad Mike and the Quest for Stale Gum. This is a recent release and a collab with I Am 8-Bit and Retrotainment that just came out a couple weeks ago, right?
It did, yes.
So it is out available digitally on all the platforms that you would expect: PS4, Switch, PC, Xbox, and
$10.
Yeah, $10. It's a bargain. It's a bargain.
Sure
Drew Scanlon here was the lead producer on this project and handled sort of the day-to-day stuff and getting, the train moving forward and getting this thing released on time. And obviously, shout out to I Am 8-Bit and Retrotainment for all their help and participation in this as well. But I will hand it over to Drew to kind of give us the nickel and dime tour of what is Garbage Pail Kids, Mad Mike and the Quest for Stale Gum, and why should people care about it?
That is a great question, Stephen. What is Garbage Pail Kids, Mad Mike, and the Quest for Stale Gum? Well, there was some deliberate confusion on the answer to that question put out initially in the form of this trailer on Twitter. So I'm just going to play this here.
Rumors have swirled around for decades. Where is this game? Did it exist?
What do you do in the game industry when you have a whole bunch of games that you can't sell?
Shot up in a rocket orbiting the Earth.
Banned in 13 countries.
They needed to hide these games forever. The 80s was a super weird and exciting decade.
There were
The Jeopardy champion, Chris Kohler.
Right.
Madonna, and Nintendo Entertainment.
And former celebrity champion Madonna.
That's right.
And Pat Splat. They're just three in a whole family.
So if you're unfamiliar with the Garbage Pail Kids in general, they were really this collectible card set series.
Yeah.
That were they were a parody of the Cabbage Patch Kids.
Pooping and farting.
And they were pooping and farting instead of being cute little Cabbage Patch Kids. And so they they were a little bit ribald.
Right.
They were a little bit, I don't know if there was ever really any scandalous
No, I mean, you know,
discussion, but
yeah.
that's kind of what we're playing up here. So this video was put together by I Am 8-Bit, sort of like to imagine if this was a real game that was created back in the 80s, but was never released because
Right.
of how controversial it was.
Right, right.
Every gory detail.
And sort of, I mean, in today's climate, it is sort of a little bit, you know, sensitive these days. Like, you could get away with a lot more in some ways back then.
Well, yeah, let's say we did have to cull the list
True,
of
true.
Garbage Pail Kids cards we could pull from. Some of them have not held up well.
Yeah, the political correctness is not present there.
But I think, so just to finish the kind of setup here,
The game never showed up.
it never showed up because it was only created in the last year by Retrotainment. So Retrotainment, retro game extraordinaires.
Yeah, they're great guys. I've always been looking for ways for us to be able to work with them, you know, in the future and things like that. But and they've done some Halloween releases, like classic, you know, NES level kind of games in the past, and were perfect for this. Like, they're great at the NES and pushing the hardware and things like that. But they actually created the actual Garbage Pail Kids NES game.
Yeah, which we'll get to in a second. But I did want to kind of go through what else is in this collection. There's Mad Mike Fury Load, which was a stop-motion film created as sort of part of a revival of the Garbage Pail
Right.
Kids brand. It was originally created in 3 different parts. This is like a supercut edit, and it actually sets up the story of the game. It's like 10 minutes long. It is a beefy cinematic.
It is. If you're
really
a fan
impressive.
of stop motion animation, it's quite cool.
Starring Christian Slater.
Yes, exactly. In another one of his unknown roles, but you know.
That's right. You know, we've kind of given. So I Am 8-Bit came to us and said, "Can you give this the Digital Eclipse
Right.
treatment?" So we've got a music player here with every music track in the game, and we've got naturally a gallery. So
Right.
this is kind of what we've been trying to impart on a lot of our collections. So we've got the full scans here of the Garbage Pail Kids, which, you know, some of the art may be gross, but it is so nice.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
the
yeah.
quality is just,
Yeah.
like, look at this.
And then of course the in-game equivalent, right?
Right, and then you have how they appear in the game.
which is a cool juxtaposition. I mean, it's nice to be able to see
I
that.
might just put this as my iPhone background.
Yeah,
Really enjoy
exactly.
Atom Bomb.
Exactly. But the thing about this stuff, like, you know, there's text describing these things, but there wasn't really any sort of lore or any story.
That's one
about
of my
this
favorite
stuff.
parts.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what was the deal with that? Like,
Yeah, so we wanted to have, we just figured it was a little sparse if it was just like these images. So we wanted to have kind of like a character bio, you know?
Right.
And so we went to Tops and we're like, so can you give us like, you know, anything you have on what these characters say?
some
like
color text. Yeah,
some color
exactly.
text.
Yeah.
And they said, there isn't any. Like, the cards didn't have any of this stuff. It's not like a baseball card.
Right, yeah. You're supposed to fill it in with your imagination, really, right?
Right, so they went back and they actually wrote us lore for the Garbage Pail Kids for each character, and you can see there's 48 in here.
And that's awesome. I mean, the fact that now, and today, you know, that they can go back and kind of come up with appropriate stuff for these things is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, and you might notice down here, this is a minor point, but Kevin Wilson, our engineer, really wanted to make sure that we included this. The names, like Joy and Chuck, they're all puns, obviously, but the actual name part is larger than the other word,
Right.
and that's how it is on the cards.
Yes.
So we initially had it as just like
Yes.
all the same letters,
Right.
but Kevin was like, no, it needs to be accurate.
No, you got to have the bigger name part. That was a key thing about the cards.
Yeah. So those are the characters, and then we actually have here design documents, because it is a Digital Eclipse release.
Of course.
Of the NES game. So this is from Retrotainment. You know, real high quality stuff.
The ASS, of course.
Yes, the Alien Space Station. See?
Stuff like this is great because, and the fact that it's like drawn on, like, you know, graph paper just adds to the
Yeah.
the awesomeness.
That's
of
how you
it,
know it's a
right?
video game.
Yeah, that's how you know legit designers were involved in it, because it's on graph paper.
Right. A manual, naturally. Every game of
Right.
the era came with, very important to have the manual.
Yes.
And this manual, again, not only looks great, this was created, again, specifically for this. I believe it was I'm 8-Bit that created this. And again, a lot more lore here than ever existed in the Garbage Pail Kids.
That's crazy. And
But-
that's awesome because, like this is what you did when you bought an NES game. You bring it home, and oftentimes before you even put the cartridge into the system, you opened up the manual and kind of quickly read through it, right?
And I think it really is required in this case because the game's actually got a lot going on.
Yeah,
So if you just
for
kind of
sure.
hop in there, you're not really going to. I mean, you'll eventually figure it out, but like,
Right.
I think actually reading the manual here would be a good idea.
It's quite a deep game for sure, and so we definitely recommend the manual. It's cool that they actually made one. I mean, obviously this caters into the physical release, which we'll talk about right after this. But this is I love this part of it.
Yes, this is one of my favorite features as well. So we requested that Retrotainment export the actual level layouts
Yep.
from the NES ROM that they had created, and then stitch them together for the complete level layouts. So some of the levels, again, do get pretty complex, and so if you're having trouble, you can just go here
Yeah.
and
It's-
check it out. Also,
yeah.
you can just see like all the work that went into it.
Yeah, it
think it's
harkens
a
back
cool
to like Nintendo Power Magazine or just the early days where like literally magazines would take photos, right, or screen grabs, everything, and stitch it together themselves, and that was what they presented in the magazine. Everyone would pour out. You remember like the Zelda maps and things
Yeah.
like that, right? And that's
Yeah, so we
That's the
got
sort
all
of thing.
those there for you. Of course, you can make them on graph paper yourself.
that's true. That's true.
And got options.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, which we'll go to, like because this is sort of the Digital Eclipse treatment, we have some quality of life improvements for the game. We have rewind, which is hugely beneficial, right, for this type of game.
It is authentically NES hard
Yes.
in a lot of ways, although it does have a difficulty select. We also have another Digital Eclipse staple, the watch mode.
Right.
So I'll just click this right here. You can see here's just, it's not a video, but it acts like a video of
Right.
someone else playing the game.
Yeah. Drew actually took the time to do this, and this is a feature we'd love to include in this, but it's not easy to do because you kind of have to go through and play it pretty well while you're recording it. But it isn't a movie. It's actually a recording of like the control inputs that Drew was doing, the keyframes, and you can scrub backward and forward like you would like a Netflix or any other sort of streaming movie. But at any time you want to, once you get to a point that you want to start playing, you can just hit a button, and now Drew is playing, which is pretty awesome, and utilized by a lot of people for. Like getting past difficult points or just watching how Drew does it, or whoever is recording the playthrough of how they get through a section to give it. So again, it's kind of like one of these quality of life improvements that will help people to get to the end and hopefully finish the game, which is always a goal that we try to have. We're like, let's give you all the tools to play these things and play it the way that you want to, but hopefully you can get to the end and see the whole experience.
Yeah, and I'll note that even though it says an hour and 2 minutes, that's me playing effectively perfectly, right? Because
Right.
when I recorded this, we have the rewind tool available, so anytime I messed up, I rewound and then effectively did, basically a
It is,
perfect
it is
playthrough
pretty
here.
much a perfect playthrough, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting, I don't want to regress, but like you find when you're doing these sort of watch movies, especially in some of the past games we've done, and when I was recording for like Lion King and things like that, where you reach areas that you don't think are possible to actually get through without getting hit, but if you actually do it 1,000 times, you can actually find the optimum path through. It is possible to do this stuff. So you can learn a lot about the game when you're recording these as well.
It's different in those kind of situations because I could, like when I was doing the watch modes for the Blizzard Arcade Collection,
Right.
I could, go to YouTube or whatever,
Yeah.
and see how other people did it before, pathing my own way through
Right.
the game.
Right.
But this, I did not have a chance.
Yeah,
to,
you're
to
literally
do that.
one of the first people
to play that NES
outside,
game.
outside of the development team,
Yeah.
right? People directly involved. So, what is the the general high-level sort of storyline in this game? What are you trying to do?
Okay, so in the future, garbage runs the world. That is the resource, much like Mad Max.
Right.
Garbage is the resource that everyone is trying to get. So Mad Max, and this is kind of what is set up in the stop-motion cinematic. Mad Mike gets to the Chunderdome
Right.
and is in a fight, and at the end of the fight,
There's a big discovery.
there's a
right?
big discovery that farts perform the same action as garbage does.
Right,
So
right.
Mad Mike's fart actually was so large
Powers the
that
vehicles,
it
right?
powers all of the vehicles in the area. So he effectively rips the fart that saves the world.
Right.
And that's where we pick up. And Mad Mike is a hero. However, what he doesn't have is his beloved stale gum,
Of course, which is important.
which is very important to him. And so he goes on a journey to uncover
All the ingredients.
all
right?
the
All pieces,
ingredients
yeah.
to make his beloved stale gum. Because it has to be stale. It
Right.
can't be fresh.
Right.
To
And
make
if you're
fresh
gonna-
stale gum, actually pretty tricky.
Yeah, and if you're going to go on an epic quest for something, I reckon stale gum is probably as good as it gets.
Well, yeah. I mean, you want it to be good. All right. So this is one of the key components of the game. So you are naturally, you might expect, like Retrotainment did a fantastic job with like theming an NES game based on the Garbage Pail Kids. You collect cards in the game, and then you can trade them with NPCs for different abilities.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
a lot of these, you see, I'll scroll here, and the ones with the star actually have a game function.
Right?
So Atom Bomb, for example, I believe clears everyone off screen, all the enemies. But the ones that, like Leaky Lindsay here, doesn't have a function. However, you may get to another NPC that has one you want, and so
Right.
you
You wanna
use these
trade a
other
card.
cards to get those.
Exactly. And I love the fact that they brought in that sort of collectible aspect of it. I mean, you know, what I mean,
Right.
It's such a key kind of thing, and normally the cop out would be like, okay, you can play as one character and that's it, right?
Deal. All right, so I got a Mad Max card.
But, nice.
A
Nice.
little confusing. There is a character named Mad Max. He is the scientist. He
Of
is,
course he is, because
yeah.
of that.
He's not to my knowledge, is he Australian. Okay, so now I have that card, and I can press pause here and go and use any of these at any time.
Right. You can see their sort of abilities. And the thing, I think the key thing, the initial thing is that you chose to kind of go into this level, first, but that initial screen is like a level select.
Good point.
screen.
When you're all sitting on the toilets, you can. It's non-linear. You can go to any of the 6 levels.
It's like Mega Man,
Yeah.
a little bit in that regard, right? Like you can choose the land that you're going to and the end boss that you're going to fight in whatever order you want to.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
here
That's right. Mega Man stuff.
You can see Mad Max will revive a kid if you.
Which is
if you
very
lose
useful,
one.
which is very
yes,
useful.
because you can rotate between the different kids. You have 4 of them at any time. So Mad Max. Or Mad Mike, I'm going to do that for this entire stream. Mad Mike has these weapons. This is Luke Puke.
Yep.
He vomits.
He's got the
like this.
projectiles going on. There's a couple good projectile kids.
Yes, Putty Patty can bounce very high, which is great because this is a platformer. And then my personal favorite, Leaky Lindsay, fires snot rockets.
Yeah, I like her because of her linear projectiles are useful for me.
Yes.
They're predictable.
Completely. Oh. See, I really got spoiled by the replay ability,
Yeah.
which I can demonstrate just here. I'm just holding the right
rewind.
bumper.
Yeah, the rewind. It helps you. It's a staple of most of our collections that are, where you have games like this that you are doing a lot of platforming and jumping and things like that. We try to add in rewind to help you out there so that a simple misstep or a simple badly judged jump doesn't just end your experience.
Yeah. So you'll note I am picking up cards, and as I'm doing so, it's filling the trash meter, TRASH SH.
Yes.
Much like the Tony Hawk tapes, if you collect them all, you get something. And in this case, you get a limited time invincibility, which again, on the harder difficulties, that and the cards, you really want to use judiciously.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, here we go.
And I want to point out, like, Retrotainment, they just know this hardware. They have lots of like scrolling background stuff. They really push the number of sprites on screen quite a bit. There's a lot of like just effects and things going on. So they definitely, as far as NES games go, this is definitely pushing the hardware quite a bit.
Yeah, and it is an NES game.
Yeah.
Like it's not like
yeah, it's not like
inspired by the NES,
Right.
or it's actually like I can go in here. It is running in our NES emulator, and in fact, we're running our reduced flicker mode on here. And if I turn it off, you can see. Well, it's going to be kind of
yeah later on, but yeah, it sort of eliminates the sort of limitation of the number of sprites on a screen and reduces the flicker. But in relation to that, they're actually coming out with an NES cartridge.
Yes, indeed.
Which is cool. I forget. Do you know when that is coming out?
I believe you can pre-order it now, and they will ship in the first quarter of 2023.
Right, and there's only a limited number of them.
Yes, they're only making a few thousand.
So
that is on I Am 8-Bit's website.
Right. So if you are interested in actually owning a physical NES cartridge that actually is colored, is pretty nice. The color selection.
Oh
that they
yeah,
have there
it's
is,
like bubblegum pink and like a powder blue.
Exactly. So if you're interested in actually owning a physical limited edition NES game of this game, then definitely head over to I Am 8-Bit's website and get it, because there are a limited number of them that they're manufacturing, and I think once they're gone, they're going to be gone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Do you want to see another level?
Yeah. Let's jump into it.
let's,
Might as well give people a variety of like the different sort of level variety.
I actually think the easiest way to do this is to go to watch mode.
And jump around. Yeah.
And where is the? Yeah.
There's Mad Mike.
There we go. So we got Tokyo.
Yep.
We've got Egypt. We've got Transylvania, Mars, and Hell.
Of course.
The
course.
archetypical video game levels.
I love the eternity. Eternity is the time frame in which you are, going to that.
Let's do Transylvania.
Transylvania is always great.
So there you can actually see the flicker happen.
Right. Ian would probably jump to Transylvania first.
Oh yes, being the
Castlevania guy.
Castlevania fan he is.
He does love his Castlevania games.
I really dig this music.
Oh yeah.
So bat dung dust, one of the key ingredients to stale gum. I don't know if you know that.
No, I did not know that as far as recipes, and I haven't seen that one on any of the recipe websites, so I missed that one.
Yeah, not gonna find that on all the recipes.
Yeah, exactly.
Trade me. Yeah, got a live mic. I'm gonna put that on my Trapper Keeper.
I'm just disappointed that none of the characters are. I mean, even though there are Garbage Pail Kids with both Steven and Frost in there. Actually, it's the one where the Frost one, I think, is the one where he's licking the window and it's frozen and his tongue is stuck to the window. But no Frost character in here, unfortunately.
There is a tourist mode difficulty if you just want to see the game. So it's much easier. I think you are invincible, but can still fall into pits.
Right. You basically have infinite lives, I think. Right. Like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
It's a good way to kind of also get through there without a lot of pressure and just explore the game. Mm-hmm. And then I think there's 3 other difficulty settings. Once you're getting good at it, you can improve your skill and things like that. So.
Speaking of getting good, I need to.
Bats, bats notorious for Transylvania. I hate bats. I hate bats in every game. I think bats.
These bats are alright. They're not too bad. But I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's always.
They can fly in sine waves.
Medusa heads and bats. I'm not fans of.
Wow. Shots fired.
Ian suggesting that we should do a all bats in game stream. Maybe that's a game where there's. Yeah, exactly. It's a game that every game that has bats in it that annoy me.
MLB The Show.
Yeah.
Oh no. Another classic, the spider that gets you in its web.
Right. Right. And you got to have the big, like, giant not posters, images of the
Eyes
the
moving.
vampire family.
Oh no!
Oh, you could rewind if you wanted to.
It's
you
true.
know?
It's true. Check this out.
That's the beauty of
Check
it.
this out. All right. I'm invincible. Although you have independent health, I guess.
Right.
There we go.
So yeah, just as we were saying, this is actually out digitally already.
Yes.
It's $10. It's on PC. It is on PlayStation 4. It's on Switch. It's on Xbox, and you can get it now. And then again, of course, if you do have an interest in buying the physical NES cartridge, you should definitely jump on that on IM8bit's website, because they don't generally make a lot of those cartridges, and at least in the past, and they've sold out pretty fast. The toilet as the transportation device is the best though.
So,
It's like the Fonz, but or the greaser. It's like it's the greaser, right? It's a grease.
yes. If you love puns, boy, is this the game for you.
Yeah. You're swimming in them.
Yes, we're it's a part of this level that is called Hell's Kitchen, and it looks just like you might imagine.
Hey, Serin's joining the.
Oh, fantastic! Sarin McNulty, I am 8-bit producer extraordinaire, made this a lovely project to work on.
Yeah, it's always nice. We work with a lot of partners and publishers and just folks in general, and it's always nice when we're working with people who are just down to earth, fun. They understand the process of game development and the things that can go wrong, and they're just a pleasure to work with. And Sarin was definitely a great joy, and hopefully in the future we will get a chance to work with her again, and the rest of the IM8bit folks, because everyone over there has been really lovely in general. So.
No restrooms.
Ian saying, are the NPCs always at the start of the levels?
There is at least one NPC at the start of each level, but you can find them throughout the levels, yes. I haven't figured out what this is. Is this cheese?
It looks like it looks like there's an eyeball there, but I don't know what that. It does look like a vat of. Oh no, it's a shoe. And then that is interesting. It's like a bunch of shoes, but I'm not sure.
Maybe it's lava.
Lava in a shoe?
Boy, the Grim Reaper really has my number.
In hell you always have like dog food, of course. I love the. Sarin's saying she thinks it's like toe jam and shoes, which makes sense because the rest of that stuff is shoes.
Yeah. Cat soup and musty turd.
And Hades Valley Ranch.
Yeah,
That's great. That's actually
I like
pretty
that
good.
A lot.
There's the more eyeballs. I did love at the beginning there, like just the countless people like slaving away in the background.
Not a great place to be.
No, I mean, you could visit, but probably wouldn't want to live there.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand you got to get.
In the winter months, it's probably enjoyable.
That's true. Unless it's like Australia.
Yeah, to some people, Australia is hell. I mean, I enjoy it, but like it is true that in Australia, I think everything's trying to kill you.
That's true.
Once you leave the city, everything's trying to kill you.
I guess if this was Australia, I would be on the ceiling.
Right.
Not Australia.
And instead of clockwise, they'd be going counterclockwise
That's
in
right,
the toilets, right?
yeah.
Of course, right? Yeah.
No. Oh boy. Okay, I'm rewinding that one.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of the.
Great for streams, because.
Yeah, I think your placement's gonna suck there.
Yeah. There we go. I'm so good.
Mr. Ian is saying it's Monster Party vibe. Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Another classic game if you have not played Monster Party.
Oh, that's bad. Car's on fire, dude.
And Ian makes a good point. You know, you got to have a struggle. Like if you play through things too smoothly, then it's not as entertaining, right?
That's right.
So you got to have a little bit of a struggle going through this. And this is a pretty challenging game. Like you were saying before, like if you're just going through it normally, like playing this game on a regular NES in one of the harder difficulty settings is no picnic. Like it takes some concentration and skill for sure.
Yeah.
Going to Tokyo.
Whoa. I believe that is New Wave Dave with his spray paint.
Yeah. It's always spray painting stuff.
Do you know any Japanese? Do you know what these say?
Uh,
Family Mama is a pretty good Family Mart ripoff.
yeah. Kura? Wait, is that right? Kura? I'm forgetting my katakana now. Of course, you have to have the vending machines every 16 feet. It's crucial.
Got some secret hidden alleys here. We can get some cards.
Yeah, it is. Thanks. It is kara.
Which means, does that mean anything?
I don't know. That's strange
Some
because
syllables?
it's katakana, but it's not. I don't know what that.
Listen,
kara-
the Garbage Pail Kids went to a couple Japanese classes. They don't remember a lot.
Or unless that means car.
Yes, the ever-present.
Oh, that's true. It could be part of a sign that's karaoke.
Oh, got it.
That's true. Good suggestion there, Hassan. Cardboard. Oh, nice tops placement there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Yeah. The vending machine authenticity is hardcore on this one. That's true. It's like if you've ever been to Japan, it's like every 6 feet there's a vending machine. Which is great because if you're ever hungry or thirsty, you at any point you can just buy something to drink or eat.
I like this level a lot because it's like, it's got these subterranean sewers.
Yeah.
So very reminiscent of, I feel like there's always a sewer level in
it's great.
the NES.
Yeah,
game,
yeah,
whatever
that's
you're
a
playing.
classic from Turtles. I mean, from our
Sure.
recent Cowabunga collection, the number of sewer levels is endless. But yeah, I think it's always, when you go underneath the ground, it's always much cooler.
How are we doing? I don't know that I want to show everything in the game.
Oh, that's true.
you
We're
know?
at 2:44, so we can probably just do it for another 10 minutes and talk about it, and then we can switch over to something else.
Okay. Do-do-do-do-do.
Here's your classic Tokyo apartment complex.
I like this. Some guy just hurling.
Oh yeah, that's funny. yeah. This is where you you have an apartment that's like 35 square feet, and you pay a lot of money for it. Similar to like I guess New York.
Let's trade Alien Ian. I actually haven't looked up. I don't think there is a Drew.
Oh, I mean in total in the? I gotta imagine that there's a Drew.
I don't. Maybe more the modern in the modern sets. I don't think there's. There might be an Andrew, but I'm not an Andrew.
I'm curious. I'm gonna have
not my name.
I'm gonna have to look it up now.
That's not my name.
Let me see. Okay, let me see.
Deal.
Let's see if I find anything here. If this actually. Okay, let's see.
It's also kind of a tricky one to do because like the first, phoneme of my name, is it a D or is it a J?
There is a Drew Blood.
Okay.
He is looks like a wrestler that's tied up in a knot, like a
Okay.
pretzel. And there's Drew Droog, which looks like a guy from
Clockwork Orange?
Clockwork Orange for some reason.
No, is that real?
I don't know if that's real. It looks real, but I don't know if that's actually legit. It's hard to tell.
Oh man. All right. Well,
There's another one called Drew Slowly, which is a gunslinger, and he's full of bullet holes. So I don't know if these are made up or legit or not.
all right. I stand corrected.
Yeah,
I
you
guess I was only looking in the cards that are in this game, but wow, they're much more.
There are
prolific.
definitely some custom. Like, I don't think Drew Tattoo is an actual legit one, but maybe it is. It has he's got a bunch of tattoos, and there's a snake that's come to life and is about to like bite him or something
Okay.
like that. I don't think that's a legit one. That might be just a fan one. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this up in a few minutes. We don't want to spoil this whole game, but
Take
like I
some
said-
questions if there are any in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any. Let me see if there's any sort of questions. I think I've been answering them on the go.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Here, I'll
Let's see here.
Let's see, we got your normal screen size here. You could go to full screen instead of integer scaling.
Right.
And if you are a monster, you can go widescreen.
Oh yeah. For you monsters out there, there are people to this day who feel that unless it is widescreen and filling up the entire screen, that there is something wrong.
I remember putting in a VHS tape that was widescreen and going like, "What?
Oh.
It's too small." Like as a kid, I didn't understand.
Oh yeah, right. Oh, the best is though when you had like these with the anamorphic, like it's not stretched, so it's just a square letterbox in the middle of the screen, where you got bars all the way around, and it's just small in the middle. Like, yeah, that's the best.
Some of our filters here. This is TV filter.
Right.
Oh no.
Yeah, we have a couple of standard filters that you would expect.
Monitor filter. Oh, that it probably doesn't look great on the stream.
Oh yeah, the lines are probably kind of small. You can customize your controls, obviously, and then you can obviously load and save at any time
yes,
you want to.
These are save states.
Yeah. The only unfortunate aspect is people are going to get used to these quality of life things like save anytime and then try to go out and play the actual NES game and going to have to like.
That's right. I guess you'll have to buy both.
You have to buy both. Cool. Well, all right. That is Garbage Pail Kids, Mad Mike and the Quest for Stale Gum. Again, it was a awesome sort of collab with Retrotainment, IamIpit, and us. And please look forward to the NES game coming out in the near future. And you can get this digital version now. So please go ahead and support it if you can. It is a great game, and especially if you are a fan of sort of classic platforming NES style 8-bit, 16-bit era titles in that genre. This is a great one for that. So please do go out and get it. And thanks.
Yeah, and while you queue up the break transition, I just want to say that, number one, thanks everyone for joining us. We will be back just after this break with some more games. And in the meantime, you can go ahead and donate.
Right. Over there. Over there.
It's like I'm in Australia. My movements are backwards.
Yeah.
Looking at the monitor. So you can help us support children's hospitals.
Yes, thank you. We are at over 1,500 now, which is awesome.
We got to increase our goal.
Yeah, we do.
1,500 was our goal, and we hit it in the first few hours. So
yeah. So thank you for everyone who supported. It's definitely appreciated, and we will be back in just a little bit with a new game. Stay tuned.